Hello! I wanted to let you know that there's a brilliant new podcast out this week, Magnificent Midlife Podcast, and it is all about help for toxic relationships with Dr Rhoberta Shaler, who is an absolute specialist in dealing with toxic relationships and helping us recover from them, and she knows that they can absolutely make us crazy. Now, I'm a huge fan of all my podcast episodes and all my podcast guests, but this one was really quite transformational for me. I had a real aha moment in the middle of it, which if you listen, you'll be able to find out what my aha moment was. But we talk about, how to define a toxic relationship, what we can do about it. She talks about a specific individual person called a hijackal. And this is Rhoberta's own word for the kind of person that can hijack relationships. But she defines a hijackal as people who hijack relationships for their own purposes while relentlessly scavenging them for power, status and control. And when you listen to this podcast, well, I certainly realised, there's at least one of those in my life. And not my immediate circle, but within my slightly wider circle. And and one of the things that Rhoberta actually says, I'll tell you what my aha moment is, but do go and listen because it's seriously good. We talk about all sorts of things like how to recognise and deal with gaslighting, and that's an expression I've only recently learnt about, really, but I know all about gaslighting now, and we talk about that. We talk about how relationships can often break down in midlife because when all of the other stuff of life is kind of taken out, so maybe we had the kids or we were just really busy with work, then we can finally realise that actually we don't have the things that we want to have. And she talks about us all deserving to have relationships with equality, reciprocity and mutuality, which actually brings about intimacy. So it's really cool. But my aha moment is that we do not need to get approval from people of whom we do not approve. And it's taken me a very long time to learn that. So go and listen. I think it will be really helpful whether or not, you have toxic relationships or not, just to be able to stand back and look at any relationship, I think is really powerful. So you can access the podcast on any podcast player, on your phone, on the website, on Spotify. You can pick it up at magnificentmidlife.com/podcast. So go and have a listen. It is really super cool. So I hope you enjoy it. And I'd love to know what you think. If you found it helpful, leave me a review on iTunes or wherever you're listening to it. Or leave me a note in the comments below. All right? Cheers then. Bye.